we've heard before, so we just ask the sponsors or any witnesses to try and emphasize any new information. And Senator Steadman, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, committee. I'm bringing to you SCR S1, and as Madam Chair indicated, you've seen this before. This is identical in its substance to the previous measure that passed through the committee. This bill was on second reading on the general orders calendar last Tuesday night in the House when they failed to get through their general orders calendar. There is one difference to this measure and what you saw before, and that is that the bill title and the ballot question, submission question, has been slightly modified, and that's because in the call, Governor Hickenlooper's executive order and the proclamation it contained for this issue, this is how this issue was described in that proclamation. And the only difference is that they added at the very tail end of the title and the ballot question the concept of exhaustion of appeals. And that's true for all these measures. And just to make this track with the call, we added that language to the ballot title, but the substance of the measure and what it purports or proposes to repeal from the state constitution, if it is approved by voters, is the same.
Okay, any questions for Senator Steadman? Any witnesses? Is there anyone who didn't sign up who'd like to testify on SCR1? Okay, public testimony phase is closed. Senator Steadman, wrap up.
Thank you. I do want to just make one real quick point because last time I was before the committee, this was hadn't been around for quite as long. I have heard from both Secretary of State Scott Gessler's office that he supports this measure. There are unconstitutional provisions in our state constitution regarding campaign finance issues, and he believes it would be less confusing for everyone if they weren't there. I've also heard from Attorney General John Suthers that he supports this measure, and his support is coming from a little different spot, and that is that he thinks it's instructive that these unconstitutional things in our Constitution all originated from citizen petition initiatives. And he has been interested in the topic of initiative reform, and in fact, we had a good conversation about that during our budget hearings with him earlier this year. And he thinks this helps point to the need for initiative reform, the fact that we end up with unconstitutional measures embedded in our state constitution.
Okay, and since you're not on the committee, I'll go ahead and make the motion to the committee of the whole. And Senator Lumberg.
Yeah, our comments in order at this time?
Of course, sure.
Okay, thank you very much. And actually, if I might ask a question too, keying off of the sponsors' just most recent description. So the Secretary of State, did he say that he endorsed the entire, or was he simply addressing himself to the election issues?
Senator Steadman.
Thank you. Senator Lundberg, his liaison, Rich Coolidge, informed me that they support the measure, but in particular they cited the campaign finance issues.
Okay.
And so if I can't parse the point any finer, you could speak with Mr. Coolidge, but he did say they support referring this measure to the ballot.
Senator Lumberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted a clarification on that. I myself will continue to be a no vote. I do believe that it's an unfair question to the people of Colorado to take very disparate issues and put them on the same ballot question. And it also troubles me a bit that, well, I'll just put it this way, as per the Attorney General's concern with the initiative process, if that means to defend what we do is always the best, as opposed to the People's Initiative, I have trouble with that one as well. So, and that really is not germane one way or the other to a vote on this, but I'm a no vote, largely because it really is putting very separate questions before the people, and I think that is inappropriate for an up or down vote.
Senator Steadman.
Thank you. And Senator Lundberg, I appreciate your position on that. As I pointed out previously, there is precedent for combining various obsolete provisions, including those whose obsolescence is the result of a court determination that the measure is unconstitutional. There's precedent for doing this in this manner. During our budget hearings with General Suthers at the beginning of the year, the Joint Budget Committee actually had a very interesting conversation with him on the topic of initiative reform, and in particular, some sort of screening or filtering process to try to keep unconstitutional measures from being submitted to the voters, so that we don't invest lots of campaign time and people's emotional investment and intellectual investment in ballot issues that ultimately get overturned in court. It undermines people's faith in the process. And I pointed out to him that I'm aware that the state of California has such a reform to their initiative process to screen out unconstitutional measures before they go to the ballot. And we had a very interesting conversation. Since that time, I've also noticed in the headlines that it appears the state of Oklahoma has that same process, because they also, their courts there blocked an initiative on the basis that the substance of it was unconstitutional and therefore it shouldn't be submitted to the voters.
Any further discussion? Ms. Smith, please take the roll.
Senator Huron.
Aye.
Senator King. Senator Lundberg. Senator Nicholson.
Aye.
Senator Roberts.
Aye.
Senator Guzman.
Aye.
Madam Chair.
Aye. Okay, that passes 6-1. You're on the committee of the whole. Thank you, Senator Steadman. The next measure